I'm blessed that I have my sisters around me, even though they're nosy as heck, but I'm glad that they are. You know, it shows that they're real concerned about me. And
sisters are amazing, and I love them so much. And the great thing about family is that you can have disagreements, but at the end of the day, you always come back to them.
Let's go, Toni. When you make it, you can help us. Those were the words Traci Braxton said to her sister Toni years ago, meant as support, but they've stayed with Toni ever since. What was supposed to be a simple pep talk ended up feeling like a lifelong obligation. Toni Braxton, one of R&B's biggest stars, hasn't just built a career, she's carried her entire family along with it. With 7 Grammy Awards and over 70 million albums sold, her success is undeniable. But behind the fame and fortune is a much tougher story that's one of deep personal sacrifice, broken trust, financial struggles, and
yeah, you know, I'm a rain girl, I love when it rains, but my sister Traci, she loves when it snows, and she that morning when it was actually pouring down snow in Virginia.
Let's take a step back and look at where it all started. Toni Braxton rose to fame in the early 90s with a voice full of emotion and unforgettable ballads. But her path to success wasn't smooth. Growing up in a family of 6 kids, Toni had to grow up fast. Her mother, Evelyn, suffered a serious accident that left her bedridden, and with her father working long hours, Toni became the one holding things together at home. She was just a young girl, barely into her teens, already carrying the kind of pressure most adults never face. And while she had talent and big dreams, those dreams weren't fully hers to chase. In her family, it was always understood, if one of them made it, they'd lift everyone else up too. So when Toni's debut album dropped in 1993 and became a massive hit, going straight to #1 and selling over 10 million copies, it was more than just her.
Hello, Kevin, how is he doing? You know, I'm worried about him, and I know he's going through a lot. I don't know.
It was a moment, no doubt. Songs like Breathe Again, another sad love song, and later Unbreak My Heart from her second album Secrets made Toni Braxton a household name around the world. On the outside, she looked unstoppable, living her dream, topping charts, and winning awards. But behind the scenes, it was a different story. Instead of focusing solely on her music, Toni was being pulled deeper into the role of provider, not just occasionally helping, but becoming the financial backbone of the entire Braxton family. After her parents divorced, her mother needed support. Her siblings were facing their own struggles. And somehow, it became an unspoken rule that Toni, the successful one, should take care of everything. The problem wasn't just the money, it was the lack of appreciation. Toni was paying bills, buying homes, and making sure everyone had what they needed. Yet her sisters, Towanda and Trina, insisted on being paid for working with her, even when their help was minimal. The only one who didn't ask for a dime? Tamar, often seen as the family firecracker. She not only worked without.
I can understand that no one really wants to talk to little Kevin's father because there was a pretty public rift between our side of the family and him right after.
In recent years, Toni Braxton has opened up about how deeply the imbalance in her family affected her. Carrying the financial load while receiving little in return left her feeling used. But money wasn't the only issue, it was the emotional toll that really wore her down. The Braxton sisters may be fun to watch on TV, but behind the scenes, there's constant drama. Arguments, grudges, and tension were always part of the mix. And Toni? She was stuck in the middle, always trying to keep the peace, rarely getting that same support back. Then there were her own financial hardships, ones that shocked fans when they came to light. Despite generating over $170 million in album sales for her label, Toni was paid just 35 cents per album. That's right, one of R&B's biggest stars was earning next to nothing. The unfair contract she was locked into led to her first bankruptcy in 1998. That period was devastating.
And you never know, a marriage is a private affair, so you never know what Traci and her husband talked about, or maybe he needed that.
For Winfrey's show to explain what happened, things only got worse. Instead of understanding, Oprah questioned her spending, going so far as to mock her for owning Gucci flatware. Toni later said it was one of the most painful experiences of her life. She'd expected compassion, not judgment, and the financial hits kept coming. In 2010, she filed for bankruptcy again, this time due to serious health issues. Toni had been diagnosed with lupus and microvascular angina, forcing her to cancel her Las Vegas residency. Because insurance didn't cover the losses, she was left paying out of pocket for production costs, hotel fees, and staff salaries. It wasn't just a rough patch, it was a financial disaster, all of this, and she was still expected to hold up her family. Toni has said it clearly, if she hadn't been burdened with so much financial and emotional responsibility, her career could have reached even greater heights. And she's probably right, but believe it or not, the story doesn't end there. When the Braxton family returned to TV, all the issues came boiling back to the surface. The fighting got worse, especially around money. Toni once again found herself in the middle of it all.
Toni has always tried to be the peacekeeper of the family, and it's probably because she's the oldest, but I'm in no way in the right frame of mind to meet with Traci's widower.
But Toni's struggles weren't just about money or emotional stress. Being the rock for her family came at a personal cost, one that affected her dreams, her health, and even her relationships. Behind the scenes, the weight of always being the strong one meant putting her own happiness on the back burner. Some close to Toni believe that the constant demands from her family may have played a role in the breakdown of her marriage to musician Carrie Lewis. While Toni hasn't gone into much detail publicly, she's alluded to the fact that the pressure of being the provider left little time or energy to nurture her relationship, and it didn't stop there. Her health, already fragile from battling lupus, likely suffered from the non-stop stress. Then there's Tamar, who's had her own share of very public breakdowns, often turning to social media to express her frustration with the family's dysfunction. In one especially awkward moment, Toni discovered she'd been blocked by Tamar while trying to tag her in a birthday post. That's how she found out. Through a failed tag, things quickly escalated. Tamar accused Toni of gaslighting her, and just like that,
I think ultimately, our kids want to see us happy.
As if the online drama wasn't enough, the Braxtons' personal conflicts often spilled into their work. During filming for their reality shows, things got so tense that producers regularly had to step in and mediate arguments between the sisters. Some of these fights became so intense, they nearly shut down production altogether. Toni, known as the calm, composed one, was constantly stuck playing the role of peacemaker. But even she had her limits. At one point, she walked off set and refused to come back until everyone could pull it together.
Well, is there a conversation after we find out? There's no conversation.
No conversation.
But it's not just the Braxton sisters stirring up drama, now the next generation is speaking out. Ashley Braxton, the niece of the famous siblings, recently made headlines with claims that added yet another twist to the family's already complicated story. Ashley revealed that one of her aunts cut ties with her after accusing her of inappropriate behavior with the aunt's partner. She was just 16 at the time and insists that nothing happened. Still, the accusation caused a major rift, leaving her estranged from that part of the family. Naturally, the internet jumped into detective mode. While Ashley didn't name names, many online speculators believe she was referring to Trina.
You're wasting my time, and you're not valuing the time that we set to have together.
I'd be happy to help with that. Please go ahead and share the transcript you'd like me to rewrite, and I'll make it clear and engaging for your target audience.
It's just not something I will do. I'll speak the truth. And here's the truth. I've been a victim of domestic violence.
Despite all the chaos and conflict, the Braxton family still keeps their lives in the public eye. Their reality shows, cooking programs, and appearances keep the drama going. But what's the price of all this? Toni, in particular, seems drained. She's reportedly shared that the family promised.
Oh my God.
I love you, Tamar. Will you marry me?
Sister Traci they would stick together, but things have only gotten worse since her passing. Constant fighting, financial struggles, and airing personal issues in public have made it tough for Toni. It's no surprise she's thought about walking away. Next voice.